everybody, and welcome back to another day on our free divine quest. I can complete objective number 10 because I've reached 3 days of seniority. Looks like the next objective is to register a horse in an equestrian center that offers fodder. I am going to make it my mission to try and slow down as I'm going through these because I think the last two days of playing were a bit of a disaster because I was trying to go a bit too fast. It wasn't really intentional, but I think I was just trying to rush through it because there are a lot of objectives and it's like I kind of want to get through these just so I can get my past objectives. I do actually have to age up a horse just so I can board a horse. So there we go. This one is boarded. I have to board in an EC that offers fodder. Hey, that one offers carrots too. So we're just going to go for 10 days because I think yeah, that'll work. We'll just do 10 days for this one. And then let's go back. We're going to validate the objective. And we do get some droppings for that. So it looks like my next objective is to congratulate a player, but before we do that, I do see sparkles at the bottom of the screen because we've unlocked my equestrian center. For those of you who don't know, so just a quick note, we're going to interrupt real quick. In order to unlock your equestrian center now, you just have to complete 25 of these objectives, direct sales, you have to complete 50 objectives, and then so on for the Grand Prix. I believe this one is the Grand Prix, and then the last one is the reserved sales. So you can actually unlock the Equestrian Center in like your first day now. I think this is my third day of playing, but you could have gotten through 25 objectives, I believe, in the first day. So we're going to unlock that. If you don't want to wait and complete the objectives, you can actually pay passes. Clicking this does not give you passes. You have to pay passes if you want to unlock it that way. So I can create my equestrian center at any time. We're going to wait on that for a minute. For right now, let's just go and congratulate a player. I think to do that, why don't we just go click somebody, if I can click properly. Then we're going to go back to validate that objective. And then, so we're now stuck on another connection objective. For number 23, I have to reach 7 days of connection. And for 29, we have to reach 10 days of connection. That hits you in a bit of a block, but I think this is actually a little bit easier just working on one objective at a time. I think it'll force me to slow down a little bit. So I do have to stroke 10 horses, and I'm not even going to leave that pulled up. So I'm just going to work the horses, which I have 4 of them right now. I'm just going to work them normally. And as I stated last time, for my older horses, the ones that are adults, I'm going to enter them into missions and competitions every day. I'm just not going to bother even training them right now because they're highly unlikely to win. The GP on this server is probably higher even than on international. Why does this format, why does this keep reverting back? I swear, I changed this last time. I want the drop down menu, so I gotta go and change that again. Okay, I've got my drop down back yet again. I kind of wonder if the reason why that keeps switching on me, like it keeps deactivating that, is because I'm a new player. And I wonder if they have it automatically defaulted to the new interface for the new player. So probably every time I log in for the first 30 days, I'm going to have to go into my account settings and change that. I do not like that sliding skill display. I much prefer the drop down. It's just so much easier for me. And this time I'm going to make sure that I'm avoiding my own horse right there. I don't want to enter into the same competition because then my 2 horses are going to have to share the prize money. I don't want to do that. So I am making sure to stroke these because I have to stroke 10. And I don't know if it would be better to perhaps age up one of my foals so that I can have more adult horses, or just age up the adults so that I can enter them into competitions. I think what I'll do is I'll age up one of my fillies. This one, I don't necessarily care if it's a purebred, but yeah, let me take this is my other foundation, so this is a purebred. I'm going to age her up, that way I do have 2 adult mares, and I have 2 breedable adult mares is what I should say. That way I can start producing more horses as well. because I did look at some of the upcoming objectives, and one of them is that you have to have 4 horses of different breeds. And if I recall correctly from testing these on the test server, you can use a crossbred would count for that. So if I want to breed my Nabstrupper to a thoroughbred or an Appaloosa or whatever, I can do that, and that should validate. Do another 30 minutes and get that drink. Okay. I have completed the objective. We're at 20 carats, and I have to reach a reserve of at least 5,000 equus, which is automatically validated, or unlocked at any rate. Do I have to refresh the page? Let me refresh the page. I got an error. Okay, I had to refresh the page. That works for me. So here's that own 4 horses of different breeds objectives. I mean, I could go into the auctions maybe and buy one. How old, or not how old, is this mare ready to be covered yet? She is not. She still has to wait. Let's see. I have 2 breeds right now because I have my Argentinian Criollo, which is Rare Pearl. And then these, well, 2, Filly and Colt, are both Nabstruppers, and then Filly is a crossbred. I think her dominant breed should be Argentinian Criollo, or no, Nabstrupper, because Colt's a Nabstrupper. This is Nabstrupper, so I only have 2 breeds right now. Let's go into the sales and see if we can do this. The auctions, rather. Those are really high. Oh, that's because that's top GP. Okay, still. All right, that took me a minute. This one is 3,000. How much do I have? 7,000. I much prefer to save my money. Now, if I were advising a new player on how to complete this objective efficiently for as little money as possible, I would definitely recommend just to go and breed your own foals for this. You can go into the public covers and search for covers that are only 500 equus, and then with the cover fee, you probably will only pay 100, maybe 200 max. Right now, if I were to breed a foal right now, my equus amount is less than 10,000, which means my vet fee is going to be only 100 equus. So it only costs me 600 to produce a foal. Just do make sure that the stallion's breed that you choose is different than your mare's breed, because you don't want to breed your Argentinian Criollo mare to an Argentinian Criollo stallion and get an Argentinian Criollo foal. You need to own 4 horses of different breeds, not produce more horses of the same breeds that you already have. So definitely just go and breed your own foals. That's what I'm going to do for this objective. I'm going to be stuck on the objectives for a few days, but we're gonna try to play this smart. We're gonna try not to rush through this. So while we're waiting, which, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to click on Zaldia's saddle. I don't need that. Where are the pinatas? Oh, darn it, I just refreshed through it. Pinatas, give me the pinatas. I can at least go through and do the pinatas. So we can click on these, and I did get a friend request. Hopefully they're on, then they can click on my pinata for me eventually. I can validate this objective, but I only have 1 friend right now, so that's not very helpful for me. So I'm just going to leave that there for today because there really isn't much else I can do. You know what we can do? We can actually create my equestrian center. Let's see here. Welcome a horse in boarding, but first we have to actually create my EC. Emma is back saying you have decided to create your equestrian center. Awesome. I will accompany you on this adventure. What location do I want to do? I do think that I am going to choose Forest as my EC's location. And there really is no right or wrong answer to which location you choose. It's just mostly down to personal preference and how you play your game. I want to choose whichever location will give me the resource that I use the most when crafting items in my workshops. For example, on International, I chose my location as a mountain because I craft a lot of 2-star Western saddles to sell for a profit. You need leather and iron to craft those saddles. And if my boarders are gathering that iron for me, that's just pure profit when I go to craft and then sell those saddles, because I'm not having to consider, well, how much money did I spend on iron to craft them? I didn't spend any money on them. My boarders are getting it for me. Now, in this case, as a new player, I do do want to have a bunch of boxes in my EC because if I want to gather resources eventually, I'm going to need boxes, I'm going to need borders, and it's a lot cheaper to craft the boxes rather than buying them. So when first starting out, I think I'm going to keep my location in the forest, and then I'm going to very slowly be crafting some boxes, which if you do want really good EC prestige, you want 3-star boxes, not the 1-star boxes, and those are even more expensive. So I'm going to stick with the forest EC until I can get my 100 3-star boxes, and then once I get all of those crafted and all settled, then I can eventually change my location to a mountain EC for 100 passes, and then I can start getting iron. I mean, it might sort of be better off just to start out with mountain to begin with, but I don't have any boxes anyway, so we're gonna get these boxes for cheap by crafting them in my own workshop, and they're gonna be cheaper because I'm using the wood from my own borders. It's going to be slow going, but I think this might be the best option. I don't really know what I want to call my EC, so I'm just going to use my username. Why will we not validate? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we can validate that. We can change the username at any time, or not the username, but the Equestrian Center name anytime. So go to the administration of my EC. This is where you can control the key points of your equestrian center. The goal is to have the most prestigious center. To have borders, you have to buy boxes. Go buy one. Can you just give me one for free, perhaps? Do I get one for free? We're going to find out. Nope, we do have to buy one, but it's only 1,323, so that's really not too bad. Too bad this 1-star box is not going to help me for my prestige, really. It is necessary to add litter to make the horses feel good. So it looks like Emma did at least give me some straw bedding, and we'll have to start getting flax eventually because that's better for your prestige than straw. And it's automatically changed every 7 days. I just have to make sure that I have enough in stock. And the boxes do deteriorate a little every day. Repair them before they are worn out. Ooh, she gives me a water trough. That's nice. You have what it takes to ensure that your boarders have a good night's sleep, but they also need to go to the meadow. Oh, we get to buy a meadow, which is called near on here. Don't forget, I am on the French server, so this is all going to look really wonky. Nothing's going to make sense, I'm sure. So we have to buy a small meadow for 2,700. Then we have to put it to pasture because it's fallow when you first buy it. And awesome, horses can eat grass. It will sometimes be necessary to set aside your meadows to restore their fertility. Does anybody remember back in the old days where you actually got to manually put your horses in the meadow? And I think they would eat and gain energy that way. That was a random side note. I also offer you a greenhouse. You can grow food there for your boarders. Okay, did you know that you can create your own competitions? We're not going to do that today because that's a whole nother, please don't make me do this today. I'm not ready for this. This is a huge decision to make. I'm not yet ready for it. I think we're going to hold off on this. Next time we'll come back, we'll choose the specialty of my equestrian center, and hopefully we can continue on with my objectives. And wow, she really wants me to choose my specialty right away. Yikes, that's kind of scary that you have to choose that right away. Yikes. So anyway, we're going to leave that for next time. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.